Let's make a seed stitched piece of fabric. Seed stitching is knit one, purl one across. But whereas if you were making ribbing, all the stitches that are knit one, purl one this row would also be on the next row. If you're making seed stitch, they alternate across and top to bottom. So right now I am reforming stitches 2, 4, 6, and 8 as purl stitches. And on the next row it will be stitches 3, 5, 7, and 9. This is an easy thing to do on a hand knitting project and easy to do on a knitting board. It's quite a bother actually on a knitting machine, one of those instances where our technology is not speeding us up. But there may be occasions when we want to do it anyway. Releasing that stitch and reforming it. I began with a row of chain stitch from my cast on, so I'm able to just release the stitches from it completely and work back through it. That's one row. Let's knit across. Now here you will notice if I were hand knitting, I would really start with stitch number 1. In machine knitting, that is such a bother. I'm going to cheat and start with stitch number 3. So we'll change stitches 3, 5, 7, and 9 this row. All the rows after the one following the cast on are a little bit easier in that we can release the stitch like that, put our tool into the stitch below and give a pull down, and that will release the stitch that we want to work on and only that stitch. There's an alternate method of doing this that involves a double end latch tool. I've got some on order, and when they arrive I will show it to you. Let's do a few more rows of this. Okay, last time it was stitches 3, 5, 7, and 9. So this time it's 2, 4, 6, and 8. And if you want to, you can go across as I just did. Don't recommend it on the very first row. But that will make sure you don't get confused and drop the wrong stitches. One reason for showing you this is that in one of the groups I'm involved with, Addie Loomers and Knits on Facebook, we are about to embark on an interesting group project, and one of the things we may want to do while we make our scarf hood combination is work some seed stitch. It's only one of the options, but I want to make sure everybody knows how. Let's see, last time I did 2, 4, 6, and 8. So we're ready for 3, 5, 7, and 9. When I come to the end of this row, I'm going to go off camera so as to do a few more rows in a more comfortable position, because I have to work hard at staying out of the way. And then we'll come back and you'll get to see how it looks. You can see this is not difficult, simply laborious. Alright, see you in a few minutes. Okay, I've done a few more rows, but I thought of something else I want to show you. Let's knit 2 rows this time. 1, 2. And we'll do a modified form of seed stitch. We're going to ladder down 1, 2 rows, the ones we just knitted, and reform stitches 2, 4, 6, and 8. Of course, the look of this is not identical, but it does perform the same function. And while I do it, let's talk about that function. As you know, the plain knit stitch rolls at the edges. It's because of the stitch construction, and it causes the fabric to roll to one side. However, if you have knit and purl stitches in the same row, they are pulling against one another. So while they're attempting to roll, they can't because they stop each other. Okay, that was on 2, 4, 6, and 8. Let's knit 2 rows. 1, 2, and do it on 3, 5, 7, and 9. This version works just as well to control rolling. It also creates an interesting texture, though the texture is slightly coarser than regular seed stitch. And either one is an option. I do believe this one is significantly faster than the true seed stitch. Still laborious, but you make a little more headway a little more quickly. That stitch is trying to leave me. We can't have it. Let's do this one more time. And we're on 2. That's stitch number 4. Six. Let's just do a few more rows and have a look. Okie dokie. Now it's very easy to see. The bottom inch is our true seed stitch. The next inch is the doubled seed stitch. Quite a textural difference, but you can see that both are perfectly stopping the rolling, and it's quite dramatic where I quit doing it. Either of these makes a nice lower edge for a sweater if you don't want it to pull in, or a nice cuff. Wonderful collars and cardigan bands also, and scarf edges.